by Braden Burries, the other five-star freshman recruit, Ivan Karchenkov, and Motiejus Krivas rounding out the starters. And meantime, Trans Trujillo is the three-point sharpshooter for this Utah Tech team. Jushawn Holt, young man who is a double transfer, a couple SEC stops at Alabama and Georgia. And they're hoping for a big night for those two if they're going to have a chance to keep this thing close, as the Trailblazers' second full year for this program at the Division I level. It has been a methodical march as they hope to give Tommy Lloyd a run for their money tonight. John Judkins, year 21, on the other side, facing Tommy Lloyd's Arizona Wildcats. And gee, you just can imagine the nerves from this Utah Tech team playing on this kind of a stage under these bright lights.
Yeah, Coach Judkins talked about that. I don't know how we're going to respond. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But they did have a nice road win against South Dakota earlier this season. That nice little give-and-go action there, as you see Peat. That's what he does best. Nice find there by the big fella. But Peat, he's a guy that loves to play below the free-throw line and use that leverage and size to dictate.
Aaron pass by Holt. Early Utah Tech turnover. The other impressive part, GA, when you watch the freshman, and a beautiful look, by the way, by Krivas, the footwork from the freshman, just masterful.
And you can see, look at the size of that frame and the leverage with which he plays. He's just always under control, and he plays at his own pace. And I tell you what, he's not one of those guys that's ball dominant. He allows for rhythm and flow to be a part of the game. And again, as we talked about, it's an Arizona team. They're not real deep, but boy, they have all the pieces.
Shot clock at 5. This is Burries. He'll pull and bangs in at 3. And a good start for the Wildcats as they hit their first 2 and an early 5-0 lead.
And keep in mind, when I looked at the box score from their first game, I thought it was a typo. 5 attempted three-point shots. And yesterday at practice, I talked to Coach Lloyd about that. He's like, look, that's not really what we're going to shoot threes. It's just that was what the game dictated. As the big fellow was able to get another defensive backboard.
Three-pointer wouldn't go from Noah Bolanga. St. Bonaventure transfer for Utah Tech. And we'll get an offensive foul here. Nicely done by Tanner Davis to set up for the charge underneath. And the Trailblazers are going to get it back.
Yeah, just a really good job there establishing the position defensively. But here, nice step back off that pump fake. And they are going to have a lot of space. Peat's such a magnet. He's going to draw so much attention. Even on his cuts, it's going to create spacing for his teammates.
Here's Trujillo underneath. Good look. Gets it to Potter. And Ethan Potter is going to get to the free throw line for the Trailblazers. Again, John Judkins, their head coach, had a chance to visit with him today. Year 21 for him. He's taken his team from the JUCO level to Division II, and now finally a full participant at the Division I level. He was all smiles this morning. He said, "Boy, I'm so happy and excited to see what our players look like and feel their way through what a night like tonight represents."
Yeah, it is exciting, and he can remember those days being a former player when you get a chance to go up against some juggernauts. They got Arizona State coming up after this one, and they're heading to Hawaii for 3 games. And he said, look, the expectations aren't real high, but we do want to get a sense of where we are. This will be a great barometer game for Utah Tech.
First of 3 games that the Trailblazers will play this year against Power 5 schools. GA just mentioned they'll face Arizona State on Sunday in Tempe, and then they'll take on Creighton at the end of December, just a couple of days before Christmas. And we'll see how they fare here tonight against Goliath as they trail by 3. Here's Peat, puts it on the deck, and the officials say reach-in foul just as Peat made his move to the cup.
And even on that play, you could just see how difficult he is to deal with. And a lot of it is because of the leverage. You see here, he goes off 2 feet, and you can see that just no chance from a defensive standpoint there from Tanner Davis. Just trying to not allow him to get that ball up to the rim and force that side out of bounds.
Foul charge to Tanner Davis. First on him. First team foul against Utah Tech. Underneath out of bounds, this is Krivas. And Jay, even these bigs for Tommy Lloyd, they can all pass, they can all shoot. He's got a lot of 5-tool players on this team, what makes this Arizona team so potentially lethal. Here comes Davis on the attack, swallowed up by Krivas. And the officials are going to put Davis at the free throw line. So Utah Tech playing through some early nerves, but not showing any intimidation as they try to get themselves into the teeth of that Arizona defense.
And I think that's going to be important for them, is to continue to try to attack the interior and try to collapse that defense to create some spacing.
Utah Tech 2-0 to start the season. First time they've started with 2 wins in 5 years. Beat Bethesda in their home opener on Wednesday. They opened their season Monday, a 2-point overtime win on the road at South Dakota. So this is the third of 4 games that they're playing in the span of a week before they wrap up the week on Sunday on the road at Arizona State. So 4 straight points for the Trailblazers. With just under 3 minutes gone by here in Tucson. There's a steal. Davis into the passing lane. Peat gets it from the back. So Tanner Davis making some things happen for Utah Tech.
Yeah.
Right back to the free throw line.
And that was a great job by Davis on the anticipation. He saw that pass coming and then just read it beautifully, able to draw the contact there on Peat and gets himself to the free throw line.
Tanner Davis, Smithfield, Utah, Skyview High School. He's only a freshman. And he has tied this thing for the Trailblazers. Watch MLB legends and stars tee off in the inaugural Capital One MLB Open at Shadow Creek, November the 18th at 9:30 Eastern on TNT and streaming on HBO Max. MLB.com/golf for all the details. So the Trailblazers, after Arizona scored the first 5 points, 6 unanswered, to get the Trailblazers their first lead of the night.
And about as good a start with your coach Judkins as you could ask for in terms of his team being able to control the tempo, not having a lot of live ball turnovers, getting to the free throw line so they can set their defense.
And Gia, they've already drawn 4 team fouls against Arizona. Holt underneath to Potter. Reset Bolanga. Trujillo, he can stroke it, and he's fouled. They're going to get Jaden Bradley and Trujillo to the free throw line. And that is the second on Bradley, and 3 free throws coming up here for Chance Trujillo.
I'm sorry, just a good job with the drive and the kick. And you can see on that closeout, not a ton of contact, but you've got to allow that shooter his landing space.
Chance Trujillo, 3rd collegiate stop. Snow College, Weber State. He's another Utah kid, redshirt sophomore. And this ball movement impressive so far for Utah Tech.
And you've got to have, you want to force Arizona to have to get into rotation. And that happens with great ball movement. That's something that they've done. Utah Tech a good job of here earlier. The other thing I've noticed, Tommy Lord at practice yesterday, he got on his guys a little bit because he didn't like the focus. And here early on, they have not shown a lot of intensity, right? It's almost as if they're taking this game for granted. And whenever you do that against an inferior opponent, it allows them to find some confidence. And with the way teams can shoot the 3 nowadays, you just don't want to allow a team to believe.
So 8 unanswered, make it 9 straight for Utah Tech. All 9 points have come at the free throw line. Dwayne Aristo, a freshman from the Netherlands, and Anthony Del Orso, a senior for Tommy Lloyd, have checked in as the Wildcats look for some juice here. GA, both ends of the floor. Knocked out of bounds here by Utah Tech with 19 seconds to shoot.
And the fact that he has basically cleared the starters out, Coach Lloyd tells you he's not happy with how they've started this game.
Toby Aribi, a redshirt senior, has checked in for John Judkins and the Trailblazers. This is Burries. Underneath as Aribi comes over with Holt to double up Awaka on the box. And the official's got a reach-in foul. It'll be an underneath out of bounds for Arizona. And Gia, sometimes you win a game like the Wildcats did on the big stage in Vegas. Got another opponent coming in from maybe a lesser program, a lesser school. Sometimes you don't have your foot on the gas pedal to start. And right now, Utah Tech giving them a run for their money. Errant pass intended for Davis. And it's a Utah Tech turnover. So a nice early run for Utah Tech. They've come to Tucson.
For such a young player, he told me Jaden Bradley pulled him aside at half, gave him words of encouragement. So he saw that leadership firsthand, an important learning experience, guys, early in the season for him.
Yeah, they're both great kids. Something Tommy Lloyd reiterated in our conversation with him earlier tonight. He said, yo, you got these two highly touted prospects. Everyone's singing their praises, but they always look to me, ask me for my permission before they do anything with the team. They're such good kids, and they got a really solid group. Everyone knows how the talent level, GA, but high character on this Arizona team as well.
It really is. And I tell you, you love that from a chemistry standpoint, as they're able to come up with the turnover there and get out in transition. But early on, you know, they've had some struggles. They're going to get a trap on that possession on Awaka. One of the issues, though, right now is if you're not able to play with pace, and that's what's happened to Arizona. They've been slowed down a little bit here. You see a great high-low action for Awaka down low to get that finish. But they're going to have to ramp it up defensively, and it is harder if you can't turn a team over. And here early on, Utah Tech's done a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball.
Utah Tech screaming for a foul. Holt heady play just as he was about to turn it over on the baseline. By the way, that Awaka basket was their first field goal in more than 3 minutes for Arizona. So just to give you an idea of how well Utah Tech has played.
And that used to be a feeder school for UNLV. So we had a lot of guys that ended up coming to UNLV that would go to Dixie, you know, because being the Ivy League of the desert, we don't let anybody in. You got to get your grades together. So we'd send them to Dixie to get everything sorted out.
Beautiful looking run and finish by Del Orso. You did not have to go through Dixie State.
No. It was either UNLV or Columbia for me. It was one of the two.
GA's GPA was tight right from the start. As Utah Tech turns it over, Del Orso off the bench making it happen. Little flick at the rim, won't go from Awaka, but he's going to shoot a couple of free throws.
It's almost like a switch is flipped, though, right? The last 3 possessions, they've been able to get turnovers. They've been active defensively, and then you get out in transition, and this is where now you can get the crowd into the game, get a little more confidence and rhythm. So these last 2-3 possessions, the best Arizona's looked here to start the game.
So Tobe Awaka, senior, Tennessee transfer last year, big piece for Tommy Lloyd. Was honorable mention, all Big 12, was 5th in the conference in rebounding, 7th in 2-point field goals. And they certainly expect him to take that next step and to bring some experience with some of the youth, first-year freshman sensations that they brought into the mix.
And the fact that he, along with Del Orso, have bought in. Because remember, they started a year ago on a good basketball team. Arizona had a solid squad last year. But for them to then accept the role, not transfer, and buy in, I think is really bodes well here early on.
This is Potter. Going inside to Awaka, outside Trujillo. That's a 3. Good looking stroke from the redshirt sophomore out of Kaysville, Utah.
That young man is a winner. He has been a part of success at every level. Coach Judkins talked about that's one of the things that was most impressive about him, and he has gotten off to a terrific start this season.
He has scored the Trailblazers' last 6 points. Here comes Awaka, and he goes glass. Excellent start. And he puts the Wildcats back in front. 13:44 to play as we come up on the middle stages of this first half in Tucson. Second all-time meeting between these two programs as Holt is fouled in the corner. That's a long 2. And Jushawn Holt going to shoot a couple of free throws.
You see Trujillo, just that quick trigger, great balance and lift on that jump shot. And then I tell you, Awaka just move, gets you out of the way. He eats up a lot of space down low. And another reason why they're excited, they have the physicality necessary to compete in that Big 12.
So Jushawn Holt, redshirt senior. This is his 4th collegiate stop. Freshman year for Nate Oates at Alabama. Played 22 games as a freshman. Next year at Georgia, a couple SEC stops. Played at Georgia under Mike White. And then Kennesaw State last year. But what a potential piece he is for Utah Tech. One of the reasons why they feel like this program is going to take the next step in the Western Athletic Conference this season.
And one of the reasons why it's so hard preseason for the preseason prognosticators, right? Because there's so much turnover with rosters. It's really hard to gauge just how well the pieces will fit.
We were watching Arizona GA play on Monday night. I don't know if there's 12 teams better than what we saw from the Wildcats. But obviously this has been a much different start tonight.
I think a lot of it, keep in mind, they're still very reliant upon, even though they're ultra talented, they're still young. They're two freshmen phenoms. And so that in and of itself can create a little inconsistency at times.
Owaka trying to stop it. A little bit off timing with that attempt. Shot clock did reset. This is Burries, the freshman. Slithers into the paint to the cup. Lefty finish. No. Peat on a stick back.
And you saw there, that's where physically, if they're patient offensively, they should have a field day on that offensive glass.
Second bucket for Peat, the freshman. He's got 4. A little leaner that time from Diba Owana. His first look. And the basketball belongs to the Wildcats.
Another guy, just great instincts in that painted area. Just a nose for the ball, incredibly good hands as well. Catches everything.
Arizona Wildcats, number 13 team in the country. As Owaka continues his really impressive start.
He does he's one of those bigs. He does a great job of spacing the paint. He just, when you attack the lane off the dribble, he finds those openings and creates a beautiful passing lane for his teammates.
That's Braden on a three-pointer, his first look of the night. Utah Tech has hit only 1 field goal. They've gotten 11 of their points at the free throw line. And boy, Del Orso, these bench players, the reserves have come in and given Tommy Lloyd's bunch a shot at the arm, GA, they were looking for.
Yeah, the second unit has been terrific, really on both sides of the floor. And if they can figure out a way to keep Utah Tech off the free throw line, they're going to get another.
Del Orso, boy, tough catch. Fisher's going to get a goaltend, so they'll count the basket. How about Del Orso and Owaka off the bench for the Wildcats? That they were going to be coming off the bench until the night before the game in Vegas on Monday. He thought about it, was tinkering a little bit with his lineups and what his rotation would look like during the preseason. Said, I had a feeling that was the direction I was going to go, but I wanted to open it up, see how things played. And both guys took it very well. And obviously, two guys are going to be monster pieces for this Arizona team this season. Davis trying to get into the paint. Last touch by the Wildcats.
And to your point, the reality is they're going to need both of them to play at a really high level, because you're going to have some bumps in the road on this journey for Arizona with those young, talented freshmen. They're going to have some stretches, and tonight's a perfect example, right? It's been the bench that's come in and kind of set the tone and created a little space here in this first half.
Here comes the freshman. Davis swallowed up underneath Del Orso. And he's doing it at both ends of the floor for Tommy Lloyd's bunch. Here's Peat. Boy, getting that footwork. Just masterful. 10 straight for the Wildcats.
And he really just does not feel the defender. He does a great job with that leverage. We talked about it. And then able to elevate with that physicality. Impressive.
There is nothing about that kid when you watch him play that leads you to think he's a freshman. My goodness. Here comes Bolanga. Boy, lightning quick first step as he turns the corner for Utah Tech. And that ends a 10-0 Arizona run and a 3-minute scoring drought for the Trailblazers. GA, you look up. It's a 7-point game. You knew that you were going to get an onslaught. Bit of a tidal wave from this Arizona team at some point, but Utah Tech trying to hang tough.
And I love what he was able to do there. Just, he felt that the defender was high side and then able to just spin off, and he attacks so quickly. It doesn't really allow for the help defense to get there. Then Bolanga with a beautiful up and under finish there over 2 defenders.
Belonga, young man from France, playing a long way from home tonight. How about this start? Del Orso inside, outside, playing a little defense, transition game. He's got it all working for Tommy Lloyd.
How about that 1-2 punch between he and Walker, what they've been able to do off the bench.
You know, Tommy Lloyd, one of the first coaches who really started to recruit internationally. It's where he's made his bones as a recruiter, now as a head coach, as he builds this program back up here in Tucson. 10-point lead for the Wildcats. This is Bradley, three-pointer as he squares up, won't go, and it's tracked down in the corner by Ethan Potter. So past the midway point of this first half, the Trailblazers from Utah Tech out of St. George, Utah, on the big stage tonight here in Tucson. Davis trying to stuff it as he goes right into the teeth of that defense. Del Orso, deep shot.
What a turn of events there. You don't get the momentum building dunk on one end and get up. Right, he's not forcing anything, just playing within the flow of the offense, and the defense starting to really set in here for Arizona.
How does Utah Tech now navigate against the team that has all this talent? Belonga, shot clock at 9, deflected. Belonga, and here comes the freshman Peat. 3-on-1, and he drops it down. Pretty look to Bradley.
How about your power forward leading the break there with the no look for Bradley for the deuce.
Nice little inside floater. Potter. And a quick answer. How many paint points so far for the Trailblazers? Got to pick their spots, GA, against the big trees of the Wildcats.
Yeah, a lot of physicality defensively. You're going to get a foul on the triple there. And Del Orso going to get a chance to go back to the line where he has been known to do a lot of damage for this Wildcats team. Talked about Peat here. Running transition there. Nice find and finish by Bradley. And I tell you, that's an intimidating sight to see that big fella coming at you downhill full speed. You might have to make a business decision.
GA, first couple of days of the season, kind of figuring what we have around the country, but you just look at the way that this team is built with what Tommy Lloyd has brought in. #2 recruiting class in the country behind only Duke, highlighted by these 2 5-star recruits that we've been talking about, Burries and Peat. Upperclassmen, the experience that they have. You've got guard play, you've got interior bigs who can do a bunch of everything. Right now, at least at what we've seen, again, early days, not many weaknesses on this Arizona team.
No, solid. They do a great job defensively. They pass the ball well, and they also can impact the game at all 3 levels, right? They've got multiple guys that can score at their back to the basket. They can stretch it to 3, and then they've got guys that can also attack off the dribble to create opportunities as well.
The other thing that they've done, they bring in physical players now that you need, Greg, as you know, in the Big 12. Second year for the Wildcats in the conference as Holt tries to find a Weeby underneath. It's another Utah Tech turnover. Burries transition 3. Arizona second miss from deep. Now 3 of 5 as a team. And boy, the defense has really ratcheted up for assists in their collegiate debuts. So you saw the other 2 on that list. Yeah. Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz.
Impressive to be on a list with guards, you know, for a power forward.
Beautiful drive and kick. Belonga able to dial up from deep. Much needed shot for the Trailblazers as they try to stay within striking distance. 13-point Arizona lead, 7:10 left to play in this opening half. Spirithides, Greg Anthony, Nabil Kareem. Rest of our fabulous TNT Sports crew here from Tucson, Arizona. Just vicious.
was able to get to the launching pad on that one. That fired the crowd up.
That'll get them out of their seats here in McHale Center. Polonga three-point stroke that time won't go. And the officials say, oh, actually they pointed the wrong way. That's going to belong to Arizona.
Yeah, you can see the defender just didn't cut off that drive. Nobody got there from a help standpoint. Bradley there was not to be denied.
Cole Peat, GA, was so good on Monday night. People forgot about how amazing Bradley was in that game. 27 points. He scored 11 of their final 18 as Krivas has it stripped rolling to the basket. But Bradley, just a tremendous ascension. Third year in the program. Last year, one of their better guys in terms of all the major statistics, was their second leading scorer. And what a start for him this season.
And such a calming influence, really, with that roster.
Looks like Burries is okay as we come up on the 6-minute mark in his first half. This is Holt into the corner. Holt hasn't gotten going so far. Probably the most talented player on this Utah Tech team, with 20 seconds to shoot here for the Trailblazers.
Utah Tech just really has not been able to find any kind of rhythm. And really, without that free throw line, this thing could be even uglier. They've got to find a way to create some quality looks in the half court. The defense for Arizona has started to really get even more physical here. They're going to get a travel.
A little bit too much that time from Holt. Yeah, Utah Tech, 11 of their 21 points have come at the free throw line. Just 4 made field goals up till this point for John Judkin's bunch. Guy who has seen just about everything in what has been just a tremendous basketball career. Pull up straightaway three. Burries and Peat. Looks like they're going to put him at the free throw line.
You can't move that kid. I mean, Peat is the leverage that he creates on the court. Once he establishes position, you just cannot move him. Impressive.
So Peat, this is the other part of his game, GA, the footwork, but clearly a guy who's able to get to the free throw line, and that's going to loom large for this team as they get into the bulk of their season, as he makes good on the first. Don't miss John Cena and Nicole Byer host all new episodes of Wipeout, Tuesdays at 9, 8 Central, only on TBS. Took 12 free throws in his collegiate opener on Monday against the Gators. Just amazing. 30.7 rebounds, 5 assists in your first ever college game, GA. You do it on that stage in Vegas, and you do it against the defending national champs. And after that game, he was as grounded as can be, thanking his teammates, deflecting all the credit. Almost as impressive as he was after the game that he was during.
Well, when you come from a family of 71 athletes, you know, you kind of have to be somewhat humble. And he was. And, you know, the importance of that game, too, is the significance of the game, right? You don't expect it every night, but to know that you can deliver on the biggest stage, not only does it give you confidence, gives your team confidence, because of the way he plays the game. There aren't going to be many who can contain his attack.
Bonus situation for the Trailblazers, so 1-1. Toby Aribi unable to hit on the front end, and the Trailblazers come up empty. So inside of 6 minutes now left in the first half. This is Karchenkov again, one of these bigs that can really pass it well, and it's a Wildcats turnover. Who does Utah Tech turn to for some points? Right now playing in a 16-point hole. Jushawn Holt.
No shot quality. They have just really struggled to create space.
Owana lights the lamp from deep, and a badly needed three for Utah Tech.
And even that was a difficult shot that was able to finish, and then they get the turnover.
Here's Aribi. Trujillo thought about the transition three. Instead goes Glass. Uribe able to clean up the mess. So 5 straight for the Trailblazers, and they're within 11.
Good job just getting after defensively. And their coach talked about it. They haven't really been in this kind of an environment before. A hostile crowd. He said even the game they won at South Dakota, there wasn't that many folks in the arena, so didn't have the same vibe as you're going to get here at the McHale Center.
Jon Judkins, what a career he's had. Over 500 career wins. 6-time Pacific West Conference Coach of the Year. Some of his previous stops. Head coach at Snow College for 12 years in that school's Athletic Hall of Fame. Trying to take this Utah Tech program to the next step. What a basketball life it has been for Mr. Judkins. Jovial, affable in our conversation with him before the game.
And he's like he just loves the game, loves coaching, loves living in St. George.
Yes,
you can tell it. And he's talking. He's excited to see what this group could do.
Owana hit the 3 a moment ago, a little bit short that time. Utah Tech right now 6 of 19 from the field, as Peat is going to get himself back to the free throw line. He's just so decisive. He's so definitive and deliberate with what he does. Every step, there's no wasted movement with him. What a future this kid has in front of him. My goodness.
And you'll see a lot of guys who have great physical talent, but they don't necessarily always have tremendous leverage. And this is a guy that has that. He's got a great feel for how to use that size and that strength. He's got a great first step as well. And I'm excited to watch his growth.
Grew up in Chandler, Arizona, about a 2-hour drive from where we are here. McDonald's All-American. He was a 3-time Gatorade High School Player of the Year in this state. And the number 11 rated recruit in this incoming freshman class in the country. So we get another quick whistle on the rebound situation, and more free throws coming up here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you talk about, didn't get as much recognition maybe as some may have thought he would coming in, but I tell you, that first game, he put everybody on notice.
Foul charge to Uribe is his second, and 2 free throws here for Awaka. The NHL on TNT returns Tuesday. A couple of good ones. Maple Leafs Bruins, followed by the Ducks and the Avalanche. And Wednesday, Rangers Lightning, followed by New Jersey and Chicago. It's all to come on TNT. McHale Center packed to capacity. Home opener. It is homecoming weekend. Great energy, great vibes in this city. Boy, it's a fun time of year. Football entering the stretch run. Basketball season heating up. And boy, they are excited about this Arizona team. 14-point lead.
True road game early in the season. I'll tell you, that Darren Peterson, though, is special. Caleb Wilson from UNC, also a terrific young talent as well. Boy, this has been, it's going to be a great freshman class as well.
Going to be a great college basketball season overall, as Barrett gets a chance at the free throw line here for Utah Tech. What are you telling you guys if you're Jon Judkins, GA, in that huddle?
Just stay the course. I mean, listen, if they can get some stops and try to get out in transition, I think that's the one area where they've got to figure out a way to find more of an impact. And that starts with their defense. If they can string together some stops, get out in transition, go into a little 1-3-1 zone here just to give Arizona a different look, make them think a little bit.
Awaka, boy, pretty spin. And Uribe trying to rip it back underneath. The official's going to say jump. Possession arrow favors Arizona, so the Wildcats will maintain possession. With 3:41 left to play. Tommy Lloyd trying to temper the enthusiasm a little bit after their Monday night win in Vegas. So the excitement with how well that they played as young freshmen. As Del Orso misses on a 3, offensive rebound, Awaka. Shot clock reset. Arizona has not hit a basket in 3.5 minutes. Delorso, pretty spin to the rack, missed it. Offensive rebound, Owaka. Aribi got him from the back. And it's last touch underneath by Aristode.
I tell you, Arizona has dominated on the backboard and as well on that offensive glass, but they just have not converted at the clip that you'd like to see if you're Tommy Lloyd.
See the scoring drought in terms of the field goals for Arizona. Owaka, by the way, has 9 first-half rebounds. Barrett get him reset. Awana misses on a 3. Offensive rebound and a reset for the Trailblazers. As we cross the 3-minute mark before halftime. Utah Tech, a team at the Division I level in terms of full eligibility for only the 2nd year. And right now, Gia, you look up, they're only down 10.
Yeah, I was saying, they have to feel pretty good. And you get an offensive foul here on that dribble handoff by Burries, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you're Utah Tech right now, you gotta start feeling a little better about yourself. They've had their struggles. They've kind of withstood it. 10-point game here late in the first half. With a little momentum.
Here's the crazy thing. Utah Tech is shooting it at a 33% clip from the field and 3 of 12 from deep. Yeah. Not like they've come in here and shot the lights out.
No. They've been able to get to the free throw line.
Awada cocks it back and introduces himself to Tucson.
Tell you what, that young fella has come out and put forth great effort and playing with a lot of swag here in Tucson.
Madiba Awana, another French national, and he's put his imprint on this one quickly. Burries, pretty finish as he glides to the cup.
And the thing about Awana, he's been the one guy that's been able to create space in the half court.
This is basically a brand new team for Judkins and Utah Tech. That's a 3, Bolanga, and Utah Tech starting to cook.
I tell you, when you see the ball go through the basket, it gives you tremendous confidence as a player.
Aristo's going to get the Wildcats reset. Ball poked away, Trujillo. Tracked down by Burries. Underneath, beautiful pass to Peat. That was Delorso dropping a dime for the Wildcats.
And the one thing, Spiro, we haven't seen, and this will come with time if you're Arizona, they haven't really completely established their identity of how they're going to play. They're kind of doing it by committee right now. They haven't really put together their pecking order from an offensive standpoint, and so at times they can look a little sluggish, but that will come with reps.
Officials are going to get Arizona here on the infraction, so Utah Tech is going to get it back. What a find by Delorso. Pinpoint pass to the freshman Peat.
Yeah, that was a terrific find and finish there. Don't look down, folks, though. We got ourselves a game here in this first half.
Awana into the corner for Trujillo. 11 to shoot, 19 left in the half. This is Potter on the box, spinning and hits. Tough shot over the top of Owaka. 9-point game. But this crowd a little restless. I don't think anyone expected this. Delorso's 3 misses badly, and that is going to get us to halftime here in Tucson. The Utah Tech Trailblazers came in here and shot the lights out. They struggled from the field. Much of their damage came at the free throw line. 13 of their 37, in fact, at the charity stripe. As Arizona, number 13 team in the preseason AP poll with possession to begin the second half.
And Utah Tech also 15 points off turnovers. So a couple areas where they're able to kind of get themselves back in the game. And you can tell they got a little more pep in their step, playing with some great confidence.
And they've been able to money the game up. GA, you just saw it again a little bit, just enough with their defense, some of the length that they have on the front court. As they've made this a little bit harder than these Arizona fans thought coming into this one tonight. Jaden Bradley, 27 points, career high in their Monday night win in Vegas against the Gators. Runs Trujillo around a pick. Good movement. Burries open three. So Burries hit his first from deep, hasn't hit since. And the officials get an over-the-back foul as the basketball belongs to the Trailblazers.
And only 8 3-point attempts in that first half. And we talked about it at the top. Only 5 3-point attempts did Arizona take in that impressive win over Florida. So they feel like they're going to shoot more. I don't know what that number is, but they're going to have to knock down some of those to kind of open up that paint for their bigs.
Tanner Davis making the start tonight for John Judkins. Utah Tech nearly turns it over a second time, and then they do the takeaway. Burries going to take it all the way home himself to get the Wildcats a 9-point lead.
And that's an area where Arizona also can have some success. They had 12 points off turnovers in that first half.
Utah Tech off to a 2-0 start. First time that's happened for their program in 5 years. A team that won just 7 games all of last season. Here comes Holt underneath. He's done that a couple of times tonight. Dribbled into traffic and trouble. 7th Utah Tech turnover, and that is Peat. Full extension.
And that last turnover, beautiful finish there by Peat. The last turnover is much about poor spacing for Utah Tech as it was with the turnover, the pass itself. They've got to do a better job of filling spots. But right now here, boy, they are getting manhandled here to start this second half.
Beautiful defensive rip by Karchenkov, and then a reach-in foul. Nabil.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Tommy Lloyd at the half, and I asked him how they reestablished their identity here early in the second half. And he kind of laughed. He said, hey, listen, we're still figuring out that identity early in the year, but it comes down to Arizona basketball. We got to move the ball better, play harder on defense. Most importantly, keep Utah Tech off the line, guys.
What a job he has done to build. Year 5 for Tommy Lloyd here in Tucson. Only Brad Stevens with more victories first 4 years as a Division I head coach. 112 for Tommy Lloyd. And his Wildcats, boy, what a much better start here to the second half than what we saw to begin the night. That is the answer. 3-point from the corner as Holt badly needed basket for the Trailblazers. Utah Tech desperately needing Holt to get his offensive game going. Very beautiful stop on a dime. The little floater won't go from Karchenkov. And the Wildcats come up empty. So an 11-point game. Trailblazers trying to thwart that momentum, GA, after he took one on the chin to begin the half. This is Potter doing his dance, boy, and then he line drives it home, that little baby hook shot. And it's back to single digits.
And Potter is really more of a reluctant shooter. Wasn't looking to shoot the basketball there, but really forced into it and able to convert with that nice jump hook.
So just past 3 minutes gone by, second half. Here comes Karchenkov, a little bit out of control, and the officials agree. Marquise Pettigrew, one of our terrific officials tonight here in Tucson, makes the call. And some of that excellent Utah Tech defense.
That was a good beat on that possession as well. But again, Potter just patient, stayed with it, able to get that jump hook to fall up over the top of the 7-foot Krivas.
Preseason all-conference selection is Potter. First year in the program after the last 3 at their conference foe, Utah Valley. What a get for John Judkins. That is Bolanga. So back-to-back baskets, and it's down to 7 now for the Trailblazers. Greg, every time you think Arizona is getting this thing back in order, the Trailblazers have thrown a punch.
Well, you heard Nabil talking with Coach Lloyd about that identity, and that's part of the issue. Like when you've got a new group, sometimes in the beginning, everybody kind of feels like they have a right to be aggressive offensively, and that can stagnate your offense. But as the season progresses, you'll find that your best players are going to become magnets. The ball will find them through the offense, and that's when I think they're going to start taking another step. And you saw signs of it in game one. But tonight here, they just haven't seemed to have a great rhythm for how they want to attack offensively.
Arizona last year, their first year in the Big 12, they won 24 games, 14 in conference, finished tied for third in the final league standings. NCAA tournament beat Akron and Oregon, but then in the Sweet 16, overpowered by that Duke team, and put together their sensational run in the dance. This is Potter. Reset to Davis. Fading away. Tough shot baseline. Offensive rebound. Holt. Shot clock resets. Into the corner. Trujillo. Holt. Potter with the leaner. Won't get a better look than that.
Yeah, that's about as good an offensive sequence as Utah Tech has had. Couldn't convert.
Beautiful Euro step and a chance at three.
And that's what, if you're Arizona, you want to see a few. You see the Trailblazers travel well too.
Yes, they do.
Fans in the house
making the trek from St. George, Utah, out to Tucson tonight. Boy, they have to be awfully proud of their boys so far, as Burries able to complete the three-point play. But Arizona, GA, look up. They're only up a dozen. 56-44 with 4.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Officials are going to get Owaka here with a reach-around foul. Sellout crowd doesn't like it. Home opener tonight for the Wildcats in what is homecoming weekend here in Tucson. So they get Potter rolling to the basket. Smart cut right off the inbounds from Trujillo. And a smart pass from one of their upperclassmen. So a 10-point game with 15 and change left. Here's Peat exploding to the rack.
And that's an example of what we're talking about. Like, they're going to create more of those opportunities. You want to have scenarios where you put your best player in one-on-one situations where the defense isn't loaded. And that was a great example of it on that possession.
Trujillo sets it up for Holt. Potter, 6 to shoot. Davis puts it on the deck. Boy, got this step on Peat. Boy, Davis inserted into the starting lineup tonight, and he has been terrific for John Judkins.
I'll tell you what, he's an explosive, wiry athlete. He can shoot it. He's been impressive here tonight.
Owaka off balance underneath, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Peat. And the Trailblazers are going to get it. Down 10.
You see Davis here uses that rim as a helper to keep that defender from blocking it. And you see how you get him that ball on that baseline in space. There's just nothing anyone can do with someone that explosive playing downhill.
Beautiful pass underneath Potter from Trujillo. And nice defense. Burries got it off the leg of Potter. And it's a Utah Tech turnover.
And Potter wanted them to take a look at that one. Looked over at the coach, but they decided to play on.
Madiba Owana has checked into the game for John Judkins. Was sensational in the first half. 7 points at a big three. Here comes Owaka down the paint, sealed off nicely by Potter, and Owaka just had too much.
Yeah, that's good offensive execution there. And Owaka is really giving them a tremendous boost off that bench.
Wildcats have hit 6 of their last 8, and their lead right now back to a dozen. But GA, they've extended their defense now, defending out to the three-point line of the Wildcats. As we get a whistle here, stopping play. Bush is going to get a reach-in foul against Arizona. It's on Peat. That's his second.
I'll tell you what, much better job, though, in this stretch defensively by Arizona. Moving their feet, really putting a lot of pressure on the basketball. Very, very disruptive here this last few minutes.
So Peat sits, second personal. Ivan Karchenkov back in for Tommy Lloyd. Shot clock still at 15, plenty of clock. Owana flashes, catches, misses. And a rebound pulled by Awaka. So Utah Tech, if you've just hopped on with us for the night, shooting 15 of 33, 45% from the field after a really rough start. As the officials say, stay right here. It's on the Trailblazers.
Even though Burries doesn't score there, that attack creates the offensive rebound opportunity for Awaka. He does a great job of getting that head in front of the rim.
Burries has played well. Awaka, double-double, GA, 10 points and 11 rebounds.
And what a luxury to have a guy that can come off your bench and get you a double-double.
It's a team that is so well constructed for Tommy Lloyd. Awaka misses that time in tight. Up the floor comes Noah Bolanga, the young French national. St. Bonaventure transfer. Trujillo, mid-range J, a little bit too much. And Chase Trujillo now 1 for 5 from the field. On the attack, and a chance at 3. Bradley.
And Bradley just does a great job, Spiro, just picking his spots. You saw he could have an angle to attack there, initiates the contact, but then great job of keeping that balance. How about the left-handed finish there? Flexing on him.
And GA, that's the 4th foul against Holt, so he's got to be careful. He will sit here for John Judkins. Jaden Bradley on with the pregame crew, Lefko and the fellas. So even-keeled. He's got that smile that can light up the room. So much talent, and certainly the centerpiece headliner with his 2 5-star freshman recruits next to him. What a potential this season this could be for the Wildcats. Like there's some of the early season growing pains that you got to go through tonight against Utah Tech. Aribi, a little bit off timing. Del Orso. Great first half, good movement. Burries slithers into the paint. Awaka ripped away. Utah Tech on the push. And a little miscommunication. Pass was intended for Bolanga. Trujillo reached for it, and it's a Utah Tech turnover. And everyone's going to catch their breath.
It's going to be incredible. And listen, I'll be honest, I had a little trepidation about tonight, thinking that I didn't know how competitive it would be, but give Utah Tech a lot of credit, man. They have really come out and competed and put forth a really good effort up to this point.
You and us both, you and me both, by the way, had trepidation, that's for sure. But you're right. I mean, give all kinds of credit to John Judkins and his staff. This team has shown no intimidation. They have felt like they belong with this Arizona team right from the start. And what is a packed house tonight here at McHale. Owana with the shot clock still at 13, slices into the paint. They got a piece of it with Krivas. Del Orso takes a little bump on the transition from Bolanga. That'll be his 2nd. And a 6th team foul. So next one puts the Trailblazers over the limit and Arizona in the bonus. 2nd game of the season for the Wildcats. Home opener, boy, beautiful cut. And recognition as they get it to Krivas in tight.
That's where Arizona, great job of using the pressure against it itself right there. Utah Tech trying to overextend and just a little simple back door for the Deuce.
3-pointer from Aribi won't go. The redshirt senior from Nigeria. Bradley, boy, beautifully done. Got Barrett on his heels.
And Bradley's just always under control, never in a hurry. Gets to his spots.
So Bradley following up his 27-point career night in the opener Monday with 8 tonight. Efficient as we get a whistle here in the transition. And another Utah Tech turnover.
Yeah, just able to, you saw that little shoulder nudge there to create the space and also get his balance, and then able to knock down the little midi.
That Utah Tech turnover is going to put Arizona in the bonus. Trailblazers, by the way, have missed 5 straight shots. They have not scored in 4 minutes, as Arizona has pushed this thing now to an 18-point lead. One-and-one situation, so they miss the front end and an over the back as the officials get Krivas. So 8 straight points for Tommy Lloyd's team.
And all this with their best player on the bench. You know, Peat went out of the game, so that depth really paying dividends for him here midway through this second half.
Trujillo, we talked about his three-point prowess at the top of the show. Hasn't quite gotten his game going yet as a scorer. This is Owana underneath. Out to Bolanga, deep 3. And right now there is a lid on the rim for Utah Tech. Aristo to the cup. Owana got a fingertip on it, and it went anyway.
And they're doing a great job of just really getting downhill in transition. All set up by what they're doing defensively, though.
Well, they need this badly. Barrett steps into an open corner 3. And that ends a 10-0 run for Arizona.
And that was probably the first open shot they've had in the last 4 or 5 minutes because of that defensive pressure from Arizona.
Only the 6th made 3 tonight for the Trailblazers, and now we get an offensive foul and a legal pick. It's on Krivas. That'll be his 4th. So it'll be the 6th team foul against Arizona. So now they are out of fouls. That's a way for Utah Tech potentially, GA, to get themselves back in this game. 17-point differential with 9:14 left in regulation.
The only negative for Utah Tech, though, is now Coach Lloyd comes back with his 2 big bruisers. With how well those guys have played here in this first half. Peat, as well as Awakwa, those 2 guys have really owned the interior. 40 points in the paint here for Arizona.
16 for Peat, 10 and 14 for Awakwa. As Owana is fouled on the drive just as he entered the paint. And he's going to get himself to the free throw line for 2. So Madiba Owana, born in Bordeaux, France, started his career overseas with E.B. Ortez. All freshman team for this Trailblazers squad last year. One of the few returning players for John Judkins. Cheer on your favorite Big 12 teams with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com today. Owana leaves some points at the stripe. Can't afford many of those. They're going to try to fight their way back. Into the corner, Del Orso, corner pocket, 3, splash!
And the half-court offense now still really starting to click. Really doing a great job. They're screening there off that set play that leads to the triple.
Here comes Trujillo, and they're going to count the basket for the redshirt sophomore, one of the Utah natives on this squad. And another look at that corner 3, kind of leaning to his right, was Del Orso.
Yeah, it was just a great screen there, though, by Awakwa to get him open off that weak side action. Really good execution.
By the way, Tobe Awakwa tonight has tied his career high with 15 rebounds, 8 on the offensive glass. Gee, you're right, boy, to have that kind of luxury off your bench if you're Tommy Lloyd, my goodness. Aristode's going to get him reset as we come up on 8 minutes left. 17-point Arizona lead. Bradley, good defensive challenge by Potter. And the Wildcats come up with no points. Utah Tech season opening wins over South Dakota on the road. And on Wednesday, their home opener against Bethesda. This is an entirely different animal that they're faced with tonight, but they have acquitted themselves really well. This thing was at single digits GA at halftime. And right now hoping for one last push. Free throws coming up for the Wildcats at Snow College in Utah, GA. So just working his way back into the sport. And now here he is with Utah Tech, the guy that they are depending on to have a big, big season for them in the Western Athletic Conference.
And a similar dynamic for Utah Tech that we have with Arizona, and that, you know, because it's such a new team, all the roles haven't been defined. It's kind of one of those equal opportunity starts where everybody wants to go out and prove what they can do. And what will happen over time in the next few weeks, they'll start to figure out the pecking order, how they want to play, how they create shots for their shooters and things of that nature. But that takes time, especially when you have the kind of turnover this roster has had from a season ago.
3 more years of eligibility left for Trujillo. And they hope that all 3 of those years will be with this Utah Tech team. Here he is, top of the circle. Tipped up Potter, nearly went, and the official's going to get Arizona on a loose ball foul as Potter, GA, hits the offensive glass. And he's going to get himself to the free throw line for the Trailblazers.
One thing about basketball at this level is guys, the teams and individuals make such a leap in terms of their development when you start to look at them when you run into the conference season. So they still got a few weeks to go.
Yeah, the other thing we were talking about with John Judkins today at their shoot-around was just how big these non-conference games against these big programs are from a financial standpoint. Yeah. Utah Tech is going to make over $100,000 from this game tonight. Same deal when they go to Arizona State on Sunday. And that money basically, Jay, is going to fund their program for the entire year.
Yeah, it has a huge impact. And the competition is going to be trying to lock up those games moving forward. And we're starting to see more of the preseason games featuring powerhouses. We had Carolina and Kansas tonight. And you saw the game, Arizona and Florida. And so not as many of these games available for some of the smaller programs that need them to utilize and to facilitate their budgets.
You know, these games have become financial lifeblood for these programs, these schools, no doubt. A little bit of contact underneath. Owaka continues on what has been a career night on the glass. His 18th. Beautiful finish at the cup. Boy, Burries, nice bounce back game for him tonight. Wasn't his best game in his debut Monday, just 3 points. He was 1 of 6 against the Gators.
Well, foul trouble, though. You know, he picked up 2 quick ones the first 3 minutes, and at that point, especially when you don't have a lot of experience, it kind of takes you out of the game.
Potter, beautiful little stretch to the cup. And GA, that just won't go quietly. The Trailblazers keep fighting back. 18-point game as we cross the 6-minute mark left in regulation. Peat, but there's nothing he can't do with a basketball in his hands. Owaka, the recipient.
And you know, I love him because he hadn't forced anything. You know, he doesn't care about his stats. He's just trying to make the right decision out on the floor. And that's another reason why I think this Arizona team, boy, they could be scary if it all comes together.
Peat, 18 points, 6 of 7 from the field. He's gotten to the free throw line again, 6 of 8 from the stripe. As the officials got Owaka here, a little bit of a shove. I believe this will be double bonus now for Utah Tech. 10th team foul against the Wildcats, so Ethan Potter's going to shoot 2. There's John Judkins. Can he get one more push from his boys? Again, first of 3 against Power 5 schools for Utah Tech tonight. Arizona State Sunday at their place. At Arizona State's place, that is in Tempe, as they'll make the A 90-minute bus ride to Tempe, Arizona. And then a couple of days before Christmas, they will square off against Creighton on the road on December the 22nd. Nice hand for Owaka. What a night for him. 18 rebounds, GA, and 12 points for Tobe Owaka.
He was just in total control of the paint all night long, both sides of the ball.
Braden Burries squares up and hits.
How good has he been tonight? Uber aggressive to score, under control.
California Gatorade High at Roosevelt High School in Southern California. Tanner Davis, they're going to get Burries here on a reach-in foul. Burries was the 9th rated recruit in the country, 7th highest rated prospect, GA, in the history of Arizona. And that's a mouthful when you consider the players that have come through this place. What a talent this kid is. And a big part of how far this Arizona team goes this season.
Start to empty the bench a little bit, and didn't get off to the kind of start maybe they wanted Arizona, but sometimes you, as a coaching staff, you want some adversity, especially after the big time win to open the season, because it'll allow you to coach your guys harder and give them the focus.
And this is one where, if you're Tommy Lloyd, you want to kind of get your second, third string guys some run. But he just hasn't been able to yet because Utah Tech has played them so tough. But right now with a 20-point lead with under 5 minutes left, starts to bring in some of those guys at the end. Rivas! Hard two-handed flush.
I tell you, it was a beautiful setup by Burries too, to get him in rhythm where he didn't have to do anything but gather and go up.
Davis, beautiful little baseline jumper. But Rivas has to feel good for him. First couple of games back after that devastating season-ending foot injury last year, just 8 games into the season. But whether or not he can fill his potential as their headlining big on the front court, GA, is going to be a big factor in determining just how far this Arizona team can go. Beautiful little spin. And Arizona keeps coming. Karchenkov and then Rivas was right there for the Cats. 22-point lead with 3.5 to play. Here comes Uribe as he rolls to the cup. We'll get a timeout here in Tucson with 3:25 left.
Rivas working his way back, showing the explosiveness for the Wildcats.
LA, we saw Connecticut on that screen. Auburn, 20th ranked team in the country. And then number 15, Alabama. As this team is going to be put to the test very quickly, if not already, after having faced the defending champs on Monday night.
And it won't get any easier when they get in the conference play. Right. They're going to have their hands full in the Big 12. So they will definitely have a trial by fire this season.
Tommy Lloyd, 3 Sweet 16s his first 4 years. But everyone agrees, boy, what a play by Holt as he pins Burries on the glass. A lot of people feel like this is the most talented team Lloyd has put together on paper. Certainly looks that way early in the season. As Bolaga misses from deep. What a beautiful pass. Aristode, the recipient. Just a magical full court length pass by Ivan Karchenkov.
You got a stoppage of play there. We had some fluid on the floor, but the pass from Karchenkov, that was terrific with the kick ahead, but in the great hands and gather to get that finish. A lot of talent on this Wildcats team.
Tommy Lloyd starting to empty his bench. Evan Nelson, 5th-year senior. Tucson kid checks into the game, as does Addison Arnold, redshirt sophomore out of Simi Valley, California. And what a night for the two five-star stud freshmen, Peat, Braden, Burries.
You know, we went almost the entire game without mentioning that other stud freshman they have that isn't playing and may end up redshirting. That's yet to be determined, but Bryce James, LeBron James' son, is also a part of that recruiting class.
There's a mid-range Jay Owana. Bryce has not played in a game yet this season. Was out here pregame on the bench right now. Good-looking stroke.
Yeah.
What a future he's got in front of him. Beautiful spin and finish at the cup. C.D. Gay getting in on the act. There's Bryce at the end of the bench, having a good old time with his teammates. So if you've just hopped on with us, you thought, boy, this was a blowout from the start. Not even close. This was a 7-point halftime lead for Arizona. Utah Tech was all over them early. As Owana rips it back, misses on the baseline, and Davis on the weak side put back. Yeah, just too much from the Wildcats here down the stretch.
Well, this Arizona team, clearly one of the best in the country. So if you're Utah Tech, you got to be happy with what you saw for stretches in this game.
Open field. There's Aristotle, a little bit too much of the body contact. And Uribe is going to get himself to the free throw line with 1:24 left. Look at C.D. Gay. Look at the big fella.
Oh. Yeah, that was actually really impressive for the big fella. Changed directions twice there with the spin. Call that the spin cycle. It is officially here, Squirrel. College basketball, you see Bryce James there. And they could not have said any more positive things. When you talk to the coaching staff and the players, they all love him. He works extremely hard. He's just one of the guys. You would never know that his dad's LeBron James if you didn't know. Which really says a lot about the young man.
Great kid, high character, certainly awfully talented, and waiting for his turn here in Tucson, but enjoying what has been a tremendous second half performance by the Wildcats. 88-65 as we come up on the final 60 seconds here at McHale Center. Arnold slashes into the paint, cleans up his own miss, and is going to get himself on the box score. Sven Jotmo has checked into the game for Tommy Lloyd as well. Redshirt sophomore, another French national. Dario Domingos. Big fella getting some for himself. Down to 44 seconds. Arnold wants a screen, gets it from Gay. Into the corner. Aristotle from Peat. Yeah, it's the part of the game where it's so much fun. You work so hard in practice. Guys getting a chance in front of the home crowd. Homecoming weekend's a big deal for these players. As Domingos misses everything with 21.6.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the fans stayed throughout this game. Impressive. It's not really been in doubt here for the last few minutes, but as you said, a lot of times you like to see those kids get into the game that don't get a lot of opportunity. And that was the case here tonight for the Wildcats.
You still remember your last homecoming weekend?
I do. I do. I actually really do. Yeah, it's memorable.
Well, this second half performance from Tommy Lloyd's Wildcats was memorable. Obviously, respect there for John Judge.